G'day and welcome to ReDriven and welcome to part 2, volume 2 of our question and answers. If you watched part 1, you would have seen at the end that the rain started and there started to get a bit of white noise because we're in Jim's workshop. Well, the rain hasn't stopped, hence why there's a whole bunch of white noise. So we apologise for the audio. Let's get into this. YouTube questions. Here we go.
Go.
Mish Ham, what is the flight speed of an unladed Swallow?
We Googled it, 24 miles an hour.
Which is 38 kilometres an hour. Thereabouts. Luke Q, what cars the ReDriven team drives? We actually answered that in part 1. Go watch part 1.
Check it out.
Christopher H, could you guys do a used car review of the Nissan GTR? My God, yes, we'd love to. If anyone out there has an R35 GTR that isn't mint condition but isn't an absolute wreck,
just buy one and we'll review that.
Oh my God. I've got such a soft spot for the R35 GTR. Please, if you've got an R35, let us know. We would love to review one. Hui He, really hope I've pronounced that correctly. How about a review on a used EV or plug-in hybrid?
We did one on a Tesla. The link to it is up there. Check it out.
Yep. We've also done a Prius.
Yeah, we did a Prius. Not technically a plug-in hybrid, but still. Yeah.
Yep. So we've done it, but there are more coming. Ethan Snow, what is your least favourite car body type? Jim, you go first.
Well, I don't know how to interpret that question. I would say anything that's not fit for purpose.
Okay.
Practicality is important. I don't particularly like cars without back doors, even though half of mine don't have back doors. But you know, practicality is important. If it's not fit for purpose, I don't like it.
Ethan, my answer to this are convertibles that were never meant to be convertibles. Oh, yeah. I'm totally okay with a Mazda MX-5 or a Porsche Boxster or a Lotus Elise, something that was designed from the start to be a convertible. But like a BMW 3 Series or a C-Class, or the worst for me is the Porsche 911, taking what is a good coupe or sedan, get to that, and cutting the roof off, I cannot stand. The worst of all, if you want to look like a complete dickhead and wanker driving around, Evoque, Range Rover Evoque convertible.
I didn't even believe that was a real car when I first saw it. I thought, how?
Yeah.
Who signed off on that?
Yeah. Yeah, that you're not my kind of human if you own one of those.
Ridiculous.
Yep. Mike Belmont, how about doing used car comparisons? 100%, Mike. We did it with the Mitsubishi Evolutions, kind of, sorta. We want to do more. The issue is just logistics, and like so much goes into these videos, and even just scheduling the cars.
Sometimes it's hard enough just getting one car, let alone two similar cars. So,
for example, today we had 2 cars booked in to shoot. They were locked in. We've spent the last couple of weeks researching and writing the scripts. Literally the day before the shoot yesterday, one of them had a massive mechanical meltdown.
And the other one, the owner seemed to have some sort of meltdown and
He's gone
missing in action, yeah.
So we always have a couple of backup cars. The scripts and the research are already done, and they're friends of ours cars, so we know we can get them whenever. And we called on that friend today to get his car. But yeah, so we can book these cars in, and then sometimes being used cars, they just don't work anymore. And so how about doing used car comparisons? Yes, mate, it is going to happen. Dennis Willard, when will the Escort be finished, Jim?
Good question, Dennis Willard. Look, I'm doing my best to get at it in what little spare time I have, but it would be a lot easier if some guy would get his stupid Mini finished, which is kind of blocking the whole area. So I'll have a talk to that guy and see what I can do.
Yeah. Heartbeat Billionaire. Sounds like the sequel to Slumdog Millionaire. Can you please answer if Chinese-built Utes like the LDV T60 are less reliable than other Utes on the market?
Well, most of them are still under warranty, so that's hard to say. But less reliable? I don't know. Are new Utes reliable anyway? Yeah,
well, like we've said this before, all full drive dual cab common rail diesel Utes have their fair share of problems. There is no one perfect one. And as Jim said, with the LDVs, like they've got a 10-year warranty. Most of these things have a 10-year warranty. So if something goes wrong, they're going to get repaired under warranty. And even then, once that warranty's out, you should probably get rid of it anyway and get a different Ute. So,
look, if I have to make a prediction, I reckon they're probably going to be okay.
Yeah.
Because, you know.
Yeah. I think all the Chinese stuff, it's like what Korean stuff used to be. Yeah. Korean cars used to be terrible, now they're fantastic. Yeah. China's going to catch up. They're going to be great. Tristram Fennick, is YouTube profitable yet? What did you do before YouTube? Is YouTube profitable yet? Not really. We all put in like more than full-time hours work into this thing, and we're not pulling a wage by any means. The money that does come in just goes straight back into the business to try to make more content and pay some of the bills.
Equipment and things.
Yeah. So yeah, not yet. We're working hard at getting that to happen.
And what did we do before YouTube? Well, I'm still doing it.
I'm still doing it too. I worked,
so is Sam.
So is Sam behind the camera. I worked in music. I was a touring musician and DJ and session drummer and percussionist for years, and I still do that. Still play drums in bands, and the music is paying my bills.
The mechanicking is paying my bills.
Yep, and Sam still shoots for a whole bunch of other people, which makes me feel like he's cheating on me, but I'm getting past it. Rick M. How do you decide what cars to review? Rick, great question. Okay, it's partly what we can just get access to in the first place. We make sure that we try our absolute best to get cars that are somewhere in the middle. So what I mean is we don't use the mint condition cars with no kilometres on them, and we don't use absolute dog cars. We try to find something that's a good representation of most of the market, like the average of the market. And yeah, honestly, it's begging and borrowing and not stealing, but yeah, just trying to get as many cars as we can. Actually, if you guys out there have cars that you would like to see us review and you own them or you can access them, please let us know, especially if you're in Sydney or Newcastle. Yeah, let us know in the comments, because we're always looking for cars to review. So yeah, it's not so much what we decide to review.
And the way we roll them out too, I don't know if that's what they mean, but we sort of try and create different types of cars every other week, so it doesn't get too repetitive.
Yeah, we won't do like repeats of one brand or one genre. We'll go from a dual cab ute to a sports car to a SUV to a family car. Hopefully that answers the question. Bambers. Are there any cars or brands that have potentially unfair or no longer true stereotypes, or ones that have some that aren't rightly deserved? For example, German engineering. When we did the Kia Stinger video recently, there were there were a few comments about, Kia suck. Yeah, Kia used to suck, they don't anymore. If you still think like South Korean cars are crap, you're deluded. You don't know what you're talking about.
Out of touch.
Completely out of touch. They're now excellent cars. So yeah, I think the South Korean cars, they're
great.
They're great.
Yeah. I'm going to go a slightly different twist on this. I'm going to go with anyone who thinks Subarus are still good is a little bit deluded, because we have seen in the last sort of 5 years, every Subaru that's maybe 10 years old has just turned to complete garbage.
Yeah.
They're falling apart. You'd ask a mechanic 10 years ago, are Subarus good cars? And most of them would say yes.
Yeah.
But honestly, they're
sad.
They're falling apart.
Sad. And as far as the German engineering thing goes, yeah, I think it's really important for a lot of viewers. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of German branded cars are not made in Germany. They're made all over the world. I do feel like some of the European brands, especially, they're marketing companies that happen to make cars. Some German brands are definitely, the reputation they have sometimes is not deserving. So it depends. It's car to car kind of thing. Yeah, some are.
Yeah, some BMWs are terrible and some are great.
Yeah, most Porsches are really good, but there's a couple that are interesting. Bambers again. Given the state of the current car market, do you feel that used car prices will ever return to what they were pre-pandemic? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I think they're going to eventually drop a little bit, but I don't think we're going to see like the crazy bargains that we used to. We've seen it in the hospitality industry is seeing it. People just aren't going out like they used to. They've had 2 or 3 years of staying at home watching Netflix, getting Uber Eats and using Tinder to hook up or Grindr, and that's kind of become the new norm. And I think it's the same with used cars. I think while the used car industry can retain this amount of value that they're getting in it, why would they suddenly start discounting their cars? It would make no sense.
And I think a lot of people too are seeing the value in some older cars. They're realising they're a finite commodity, and some cars you would never think were collectible are now becoming collectible. I think it's pushing the prices of those up as well. So they probably won't drop, but they might not sort of surge ahead like they have over the last few years.
And I think what is deemed a classic will even change. So the fact that, everybody knows like 90s and early 2000s Japanese performance cars are all worth a fortune now, because you can't get like a Mitsubishi Evolution Mackinnon for less than $60,000. Therefore, the slightly lesser models are starting to go up. For example, one of my favourites, 3rd gen Honda Prelude. They used to be $4,000 or $5,000. Now they're $25,000. Also, something that Sam just added, really good point, because car warranties seem to be getting longer and the quality of cars are getting better, like cars are just a better thing for longer. Like when I suppose we were growing up, like a $10,000 car was utter crap, whereas these days a $10,000 car is pretty bloody good. So yeah, there's not a lot of reason to buy a new car, so therefore the demand for used cars is higher. So again, if there's demand, they're not going to make them cheaper. I don't know. Yeah, I don't see prices going backwards anytime soon.
I don't think so.
Bambers again, greedy man with his 3 questions, or woman, maybe woman. Could you do a review of an MG3? Yeah, we'd love to do. We'd love to do some more Chinese cars. It's just, honestly, mate, it's accessing them at the moment. So, if anyone out there has an MG3 that they'd happily lend us for a day to film, please let us know. Ashish Joseph, what is your opinion of the best looking SUV on sale right now? I've thought about this. I'm going with the Volvo XC60. I think that is a sexy car.
They're okay. I quite like the Audi e-tron SUV, but I think I'm only swayed to that because the Audi e-tron GT is probably one of the best looking cars made, I think, in recent history. But if you line all the modern SUVs up, really, and take the badges off, in some cases it's actually quite hard to tell the difference because they all kind of look very similar.
100%.
Hard to pick a winner.
Yep. Deegan Ellis, what's the ReDriven 2-year content roadmap and what cool, interesting cars do we have coming up? Okay, the 2-year content roadmap, far too complex to explain as quickly as we can. Heaps, mate. So much planned. Really excited for what's coming up. What cool, interesting cars do we have coming up? Okay, not really a spoiler alert. There was a certain Audi R8 that went on a joyride through Newcastle. It was all over, like, it was a dash cam footage thing. We have something with that car and the replacement car for that coming up. We've got a mate of mine has built a Series 8 RX-7 and we're talking full acid dip, ground up rebuild. Every nut and bolt has been seen to. It's possibly the best RX-7 in the world. We're doing something on that. There's heaps of old school stuff, heaps of new school stuff. There's performance stuff. There's heaps of cool stuff.
So much coming.
Actually, if you guys have any requests, if there's something specifically that you would like to see, let us know in the comments. Deegan Ellis again, should I trade my VF2 SSV Redline in for an i30N? God, no.
Keep it
and buy an i20N. Don't drive the SSV Redline anymore. Put a cover on it. Like, just put it in storage. That thing's just going to keep going up. Sell it in 10 years and buy a house. Or if you're in Sydney, buy a cupboard. And i30N's spectacular car.
But if you have to spend less because you have to keep the Commodore, maybe an i20.
i20N. i20N.
Great car.
Deegan Ellis again. Any plans for some EV reviews? Well, as Jim mentioned before, we've already done them. Tesla Model S we've done, Toyota Prius we've done, but yes, there is way more coming up. Tesla Model 3 is in the works as we speak. I like water. If money was no object, but you could only drive one car for the rest of your life, what would you choose, Jim?
Thought about this. It's a really difficult question. As a bit of an all-rounder, I'm going to go with the RS4 Avant.
Nice.
Bit of a family truckster. I can race it. It's four-wheel drive, so I can take it off-road.
Which one?
Any. Any late model, last couple of years, they're all pretty good.
Sam actually was like, what about an RS6? And I love the RS6. I just feel like previous generation RS6s are almost a little obviously older generation RS6s, whereas the RS4s, like you still look at a B7 RS4, that's still a hot looking car. I feel like RS4s age better. What would I choose?
RS6s are huge.
They're a big thing, I would go with, if it's only one car for the rest of my life, and money no object. Okay, the money no object part, I would future-proof myself here. I'd go a Porsche Taycan Turbo S Sport Turismo. I love that car. I've never driven one, but I think that is an amazing car and electric and crazy fast. If I was going petrol, I'd go RS4.
But how can you choose, really? Tough question.
It's got to be practical. It's got to be fun. RS4. Yep.
Something like that.
Road Trip Martin. Best fun cars for today's insane fuel prices.
My pick there was a Tesla.
I don't think they're fun.
No, but they're cheap. Like they don't use much fuel.
No, well, but I'd go a Kia EV6 GT.
Yeah, they're good too. Yeah.
Teslas are fast.
Yeah.
I don't find them fun.
Yeah.
Yet.
But as you said earlier, any small hot hatch, they're all economical and they're all.
Ignoring the electric stuff, you really want to save fuel, don't buy fuel. But hot hatches, i20N, Fiesta ST,
GR Corolla.
GR Corolla's going to be amazing. If you're looking at older stuff, Swift Sport is a cracking good thing.
Yep.
Any hot hatch, any small hot hatch.
Yeah.
DD Festa. How about a show on the best track day cars on a budget? We have a top 5 video on pretty much that exact subject coming up. So, yep, happening. George, if you could give any car to your worst enemy, which car would it be? Hummer H2. What a piece of shit that car is. And if there was ever a car that just screamed, I'm a piece of shit human. Sorry, Hummer H2 owners, but
they're terrible. They are terrible.
I get, like, when I see them, which is rare because they're all broken down, I literally am like, ugh.
Oh, they're horrible.
Yeah, it's gross. Disgusting.
I'm going to pick one of the ugliest cars I think that's ever been made in recent times. Is the Sangyon, is it the Rexton?
I think it's the Rexton. The weird back,
weird
swoopy
hatchy
front,
things.
giant people.
Hideous.
Yeah.
If I really hated the person, they would have to drive that and explain to people, what it is, and the shame.
I think you wouldn't even explain. I think you'd turn up and people would just go, what is this? What are you doing? Yeah.
That's my pick.
Yeah, terrible.
I haven't seen one for years, actually.
No. Gangster shots. Do you recommend flushing an engine when buying a used car?
I'm assuming she means flushing the engine oil, but no, I wouldn't. I would just recommend buying a car that has had a good service history. I bang on about that all the time. If it's had a good service history, you don't need to flush anything out.
Yep. There you go. Gonzo Switters, or Gonzo's Witters. Why do journalists hate CVTs?
I think I know, because bandwagon.
Yeah.
I reckon a lot of them just say they do because other journalists say they do.
Yeah.
I've had a car with a CVT and it actually wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It depends what you're doing with it. It's obviously not for a race car.
No.
But for daily driving, really?
I'm not a journalist. I'm not worthy of that title.
I know they sound terrible and feel terrible, but hate?
Yeah, no, okay. My thing, my normal job is in music, is playing music. And for me, it's like a really horrible minor chord. So like when you're listening to a singer and it's like, that sounds gross. It's like clapping on the 1 and the 3, which is evil. Yeah. For me, it's a sound and feel thing. I just like, every time it goes, I'm like,
I understand that. They're not great. They're not really for, drivers' experience, but I just think they're all banging on about it.
For what they're designed to do, great, awesome. They're not designed to impress me. Gonzo's Twitters, or Gonzo's Switters again. Are Skodas a bad idea?
Look, they're like.
It's a Volkswagen.
Exactly, they're a Volkswagen. They're okay. There are more reliable cars out there. Any segment of car that a Skoda is in, you can probably find a more reliable car from Japan.
South Korea.
Or South Korea.
Yeah.
Statistically, some are great, but.
Here's the thing with Skodas. The one thing I'm going to say to back them up, I've got a couple of friends with Skodas, and they're hardcore car people. They're changing the oil every 5,000 Ks. Those things are absolutely babied. And I do tend to feel like Skoda owners, because they're almost more appreciative of the brand, the cars are really well looked after. And if it has got a solid service history and has been cared for, you hopefully won't have any dramas. So, yeah. Hopefully, Gonzo Switters again. Any guest reviewers? I'd love to see you guys shoot the shit and bounce used stuff off someone like the engineering-focused John Cadogan or the legend Nathan Ponchard. Let me just say, Ponch is a dear, wonderful friend of mine. I love that guy. I cannot rave enough about Ponch. He's a hero, and one of my favourite humans.
Let's get him on the show. As for John Cadogan, I'm a huge fan of John. I watch his stuff religiously.
I'd love to meet him. I'd love to meet him. We've had a couple of people comment that it's almost like we're the used car version of him.
Yeah, I don't think we're not as smart as him.
I'm not as smart as him, God no. I'm nowhere near as witty either. If you're a fan of Cadogan, please let him know that we'd love to do anything.
Are we worthy?
I don't know if we're worthy yet. I think we're going to get to 100,000 subscribers and then
you should.
Yeah, get us to 100,000 subscribers, then we're worthy of working with John Cadogan. As far as Ponch goes, I'm pretty sure we can get Ponch on the show. Yeah, I think that can happen. I'll text him after this. I'll text him and see what he says. Gonzo Switters again. How many questions have you got, mate? What are some good practices for keeping a car mechanically happy, Jim? This is all about you.
Just service it and yeah, look after it. Fix it. Fix the little things. You know, if there's a bit of trim breaks, just go and buy a new one. You know, when it's due for service it. Just that's pretty much all there is to it.
Care about it.
Look after it.
Yeah.
You don't have to. I don't care if you wash it. No one cares. You know, that's just aesthetics. But look after it. When the little things break, just get on top of it. You know, it'll thank you later.
Preventative maintenance?
Yeah, do that.
Nice. Martin Jones, when are we expecting to get more Aussie car content? Okay, chances are, when this video comes out, you would have seen a pretty Australian-focused top 5 series that we've done. But in all honesty, mate, the reason, I know, Martin, you've mentioned a few times in comments about the Aussie content. The reason we haven't done a whole lot of Aussie content yet is because, honestly, we want to build the channel up as internationally as we can so we can feature more Australian cars to a larger international audience. I'm hell-bent on showing Europeans, people in Asia, America, right around the world, Middle East, like XR6 Turbo, the W1, like even like Phase 3s, early GTOs.
They're coming.
Yeah, it's all that stuff is coming. I don't want to. Waste is the wrong word, but I don't want to waste.
We don't want to peak too soon.
You don't want to peak too soon. You don't want to use these amazing Aussie cars for a smaller audience. You get what we're trying to say. Martin Jones again. What other car YouTubers do you guys watch in your free time? Oh, how long have you got?
Yeah, a lot.
Do you want to go first?
As I said earlier, I watch a lot of John Cadogan.
Yep.
I watch some really oddball stuff. I visit Mighty Car Mods guys occasionally.
Yep.
They're kind of cool. I watch a lot of Cletus McFarlane.
Nice.
That stuff is hilarious. A bit of 1320 video as well.
Yep.
DeBoss Garage.
Nice.
Watch a lot of his content. Actually, more of that lately than just about anything, actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Carfection, Henry Catchpole.
Henry Catchpole, yeah.
Man, Carfection. How good are those guys? Obviously, Mighty Car Mods. If it wasn't for Mighty Car Mods, we wouldn't be doing this. They're the reason that we kind of got off our asses and are doing this in the first place.
Yeah.
So, Marty and Blair, you guys, bloody legends. Obviously, Chris Harris goes without saying. Yep. Chris is an absolute legend. Jethro Bovington as well. Jason Camissa.
Yeah,
Jason
what a
Camissa.
legend. Yeah.
How good's that guy? Yeah. Who else? I've just gone totally.
I think you've listed all the.
I think they're my main.
Yeah. They're all main car journo stuff that we watch.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah. Obviously, Matt Watson Carwow. Like, there's been a couple of comments calling me like the Aussie Matt Watson, which I don't have words. That's the most flattering, amazing comment. Wow.
Some say better than Matt Watson.
I wouldn't go that far. No, Matt is like great. Yeah.
No, they're talking about me.
Sorry. My apologies. And obviously the Top Gear guys, all the Top Gear stuff.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
They're all pros,
Grand
right?
Tour guys. Yeah. David Horn, best engines used in cars sold in Australia.
Well,
LS.
Yeah.
K24.
Yeah. I was thinking of Australian engines.
Oh, yeah, and best engines used in cars sold in Australia.
But I think
it just means sold in Australia.
Well, they're all engines, but I was, the Barra.
Of course.
They're amazing. Yeah, oh, look, there's one over there that's done 520,000 kilometres.
Really?
Yep, that car done 520,000 kilometres.
What went wrong with it?
The crankshaft thrust bearing failed. And it was every time you put the foot in the clutch, the crankshaft would float and it would start making horrible sound.
And it did that after 500,000
Half a
kilometres.
million
What a
Ks,
piece of
and
shit
it had never
engine.
been apart.
What, rubbish.
Yep.
They should last 1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, like LS, K24s, Barra, what's the Toyota V6?
2GRFE.
Yep. The 3-cylinder in the GR Yaris. That thing's wow.
Freakishly, yeah.
Yeah, many engines. David Horn, please explain. Wow, here you go, Jim. Please explain how a CVT transmission works and why they are good/bad and the best and worst examples.
That would take me an hour to explain. Basically, imagine two cones with a rubber band in between them that slides up and down the cones. You could Google it for a far better explanation.
Should we do a video?
Yeah,
CVT?
take video.
Would you like to see a CVT specific gym video?
Let us know if you want to see anything technical like that, because we can definitely do it.
Yeah.
Just if people want to see it, that's all.
David Horn again. Best Aussie Holden and Ford and why? Okay. Best Aussie Holden, just got to be W1 for me.
Oh God.
That thing's ridiculous.
Yeah. Best Ford. Best or most expensive?
No, just best.
Best?
Best Aussie Ford as well.
I tell you, I love the XD and XE ESP Falcons.
Yeah.
They're just an iconic car from my childhood. I don't know if they're the best though.
I had a F6, I think it was the Typhoon no, it wasn't mine, it was the car I managed to have for a while.
Any turbo Falcon is bloody brilliant.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. Yeah. Jim Barlow, mechanically speaking, reliability. What generation of Honda Civic is best?
God, that's a really good question. They're all good.
Yeah.
They're all good enough for me to try and think of which is the worst, and none of them are the worst. Maybe the older ones are slightly less reliable, only because they're old. But I don't think there is a best.
No.
They're all really super reliable, and always could never really work out why they never sold more, especially here in Australia.
Yeah.
Like, they kind of dropped off there, and they weren't competing well against the other cars in its category. But they're bloody good cars.
That's like asking. What's the best generation of Foo Fighters songs? They're all brilliant. They're all, I don't know. I personally, EF9, the old school little square one, I'm not saying it's the most reliable. They are equally as reliable. But honestly, any Honda from that period, CRX, Prelude, Civic, I would have all of those cars in a heartbeat. That's it for YouTube questions. We had to cull it down. Sorry guys, if we didn't get to your question, we're going to do one of these. We're going to try and do a question and answer like every 6 months-ish. So yeah, if you've got any other questions, throw them in the comments. Again, if you're enjoying our content and you're enjoying ReDriven in general, please hit all those buttons and stuff down there and share our stuff as much as you can. That'd be awesome. Let's get to 100,000 subscribers and work with John Cadogan and Mighty Car Mods. That'd be brilliant. See you guys next time.